Got it. Okay. All right, guys. So we're back on here. So basically what I was saying was this red line, hold on, let me minimize this right here. It's out the way. This red line that you can see coming through here with this is the volume profile line. And this red line indicates where the banks have placed their major orders. Okay. Now, usually when I've been looking at this line, it usually falls on a major level of support resistance, right? Which you can see is right there on my daily level. Okay. And as you move the chart, it will adjust based on the data that the screen can see. Okay. So based on all this data, this is where the bank has their major orders. Okay. And so the thing is, Spiller was talking about this and basically saying that if you know where the bank is placing their orders, then you know that it's getting ready to make a move somewhere, right? We don't always know if it's going to be a move to the downside or a move to the upside, but it's getting ready to be a move, okay? So that's what this is. Now, for the sake of what I'm getting ready to talk about right now, okay. For the sake of what I'm getting ready to talk about right now, I'm going to talk more about Akinashi versus the volume profile. Okay, volume profile is good, so you can see how much volume is in the market, right? If these gold bars are protruded out a lot, it's usually more volume. Okay, as the gold bars start to taper off, then there's less volume. Okay, in the market. So that's kind of gives you an idea, like, okay, man, when we start getting around in this area, right, it's a little bit less volume, but right in here, right, stuff is happening. Buying and selling is happening. And as it comes down here, it's less volume. So I just wanted to share that with you. That's what that is. To get the volume profile, you do have to upgrade on TradingView. Okay, you got to have like a pro or whatever that is. If you do have that, then you would just come over to your indicators, okay, a little indicator icon, and you would type in volume. Even if you don't have it, you'll still see it, but it won't let you get it, okay, until you upgrade. So volume profile is what you would click on. And then you can do visible range, which is where I have it. You can do session volume, or you can do a fixed range, okay? And this kind of explains it. But if you've upgraded already, you already have the pro version, then you can do visible range. And it will at least let you see this red line, which is where the banks are placing their orders. Now, one thing I will say is, let's say you're up here, right? And let's say you're up here. Let me move this over because this was the data at that time. So let's say you're up here and you can see that the bank has an order down here. Well, what Spiller did say is that you can take your sell down at least to that line, right? Because you don't know whether that's a sell order or a buy order. So if you're in for a sell, you want to get out there because it could turn around and reverse on you. So the safety precaution is just to get out right here. And if it continues in the sell, then obviously you can see this is a little pullback. You could just get right back in, okay, if you want to do that. Or you could wait for the reversal and get back in. So the idea is that you want to take your trade to the volume profile line, okay? If you're above the line or below the line, you can go to that line generally because that's where the order is, okay? So that's just a little sidebar. But in real life, we were talking about this right here, this AUD USD, okay? So I'm going to come back. Okay, really? Hold on. So come back to my settings. All right. So where was I at? Trader's Way, 15-minute AUD USD. Okay. So we're here. All right. So this is not quite optimal entry yet, but you guys will get the point of what I'm saying. Okay. Because I can see it's coming, it's pulling up a little bit, and I kind of want to get this so I can show it to you. Okay. So let me go to AUD USD. All right, so you guys can see that volume profile line is right there, right? It was a big old push up and they pushed down. And so this may have been a sell order here, right? This may have been a sell order. And so now it's pushing down, which would indicate this right here, right? This red line is still moving down. It's curving down. The 4 MA is still curving down. So I would expect it to still continue to move downward, okay? Before I would even get in this, it needs to be optimal entry at this point, okay? So at any rate, you're here, okay? And what I started doing was saying, okay, like in this pullback right here, you can see if you were in this sell, right, or you missed this move and you wanted to get in on the move, what we try to do is measure, right, this pullback so we can get in at the right time and keep the move going down. That's what we're usually trying to do, right? And sometimes we miss it. Sometimes we overshoot it. Sometimes we undershoot it. We end up in a lot of drawdown, you know, and it could be an issue, right? And it's a hassle trying to get in the trade once you got out. Some people like to stay in it. Once you're in, you in, right? Versus getting out, because it's a little daunting to jump back in again. But this area right here where it pulls up and comes down, right here as well, it's pulling up. It's, see what I'm saying? It's retesting that 4, right? How it's moving up and it's touching that 4. But sometimes it'll come up further. You don't know exactly where in there it's going to go, but it is touching that 4. So Akinashi, what it does is, I'm going to put a split screen here at this point so that we can compare the two. Okay. I'm going to put, this is AUD, this Kajic, make this AUD USD. Okay. And that's the regular. I'm going to make this Akinashi on the left side. The left side is going to be Akinashi. Okay. The right side is going to be regular candles. Okay. And usually what I try to do is I try to line up, like I can see this volume profile line. The red line is 71407, 71407. So I try to line those things up as best I can, just so my view is kind of similar. Okay, just so my view is kind of similar of both what's going on. Okay, so this is regular to the right, regular price action, and this is Akinashi to the left. Okay, so the idea with Akinashi is that you have a 3 MA on Akinashi, a 3 MA, and you got a 4 MA on our regular price action. As you can see, I've kind of recaptured the scanner here, right? So I've got my Bollinger Bands. I even have a 50 MA just on there, just because I like to have it on there. But Bollinger Bands, and the 4 MA is the yellow. Over here, I just have a yellow 3 MA. Okay, that's what goes with Akinashi. So you've got these candles. See how they're all flat at the top? A flat top going down, a flat, let me make it bigger like this, right? It's flat at the top, flat at the top, flat at the top, flat at the top, flat at the top. Y'all see that? And then over here on the buys, flat at the bottom, flat at the bottom, flat at the bottom, flat at the bottom. So the idea is that once you go through what is called a transition, we would call it consolidation, basically, right? But you guys can see that this area where this 3 MA flattens out, you can see that the candles have a wick on the top and a wick at the bottom, the majority of them, okay? When they have these candles with the wick at the top and the wick at the bottom like this, right? And they're kind of going straight across, those are called transitional candles. Okay, they're called transition candles. The ones that have the flat bottom are just like a flat bottom candle or a flat top candle. Your flat bottoms would be your bull candles, and your flat tops would be your bear candles, all right? So if we're looking at this sell move over here, you can see it went up, had flat top, flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom. We had a transition candle, a transition candle. You can see that 3 MA is curving over, and then what do we have? A flat top, 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 like it's straight sales. So please turn it down, please. You're supposed to be in the bed. I'm letting you stay up because I got stuff I got to do, but please don't be disruptive. Thank you. So flat top, flat top, flat top, flat top. This is all of our sale move. And you can see that's what's going on over here too. So this is 15 minute. Let's make sure this is 15 minute. Yes. So these are both 15-minute candles. You can see this one big long candle right here, right? It's broken up from the Akinashi side from that standpoint, looks like, right? Well, this candle right here. So what we want to do is what I thought Spiller was saying was that you find a flat top candle, for example, we're on the sale, and you wait for that candle to close. Like you got this transitional candle, for example, right? But you don't know what the next candle is going to be, obviously, right? So you wait until a flat top closes, right? I'm going to share some other revelations I had with you guys in just a second about that. But technically, You don't know what this candle was going to. We know it's transitioning, and it looks like it's transitioning in a sale, okay? But ideally, you wait for a flat top to close. And what I thought he said initially was that you would put a sale limit at the top of this line. Now, I want you to look at the corresponding price action over here. You see how my crosshair, wherever my line going straight across, wherever my crosshair is on the left, it's corresponding to what's happening on the right. You guys see that? Everybody see that? Like I'm moving this up and down? Yes, no? Y'all see it? I can't see y'all because I'm doing this. Okay.
Yes, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's happening is, let me bring this down a little bit. All right. So I said, okay, this candle closes. I thought you said put it at the top. So if you look over to the right, if I put a sale limit right there, you could see that that candle did not come up and grab my order. Y'all see that? Yes. Here, you guys understand what I'm saying? Let me put a yellow line right here. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. We see it.
See, okay, I put an orange line. Okay. See, if I put an orange candle right here, if I put an orange candle right here, that corresponding is 71593. I'm going to put that same orange candle over here, 71593. And if you look at that carefully, that was too high. You see that? It's too high. We would have missed the whole move, right? That sale limit never got triggered. So I'm looking at that and I said, Shanika, is this thing at the top or at the bottom, right? I don't think it's at the top because I'm missing the trades, right? So I said, well, let me play around. Maybe he said the bottom, right? So I moved the line to the bottom. I said, okay, here's the bottom. What's that? 71459. This is of the previous candle, right? This candle closed, and now I'm putting the line at the bottom of it. What is it? 71459. 459. Okay. Now, as you can see here, this was a big move, but it didn't come up there either. Right now, when we were doing the trading the other night, it was triggered. Like, it's not going to be 100% of the time, okay? Because this was a big, big, big move. And what I'm saying is it will probably come back up here at some point. It just hasn't yet. You guys know it'll retest later, okay? It just hasn't yet. But in terms of getting in and then really being able to catch the rest of the move, what was happening is that in normal circumstances, it would retest this line, but it was going up, way up here, right? So I'm in drawdown. I'm not in as much drawdown. It's not a lot, nothing to be alarmed about. But Taylor was saying specifically, it's almost perfect. And having that type of drawdown wasn't perfect to me. 5 pips, that's not perfect, right? So I played around with it that day that we traded. And then today I was looking at GU and I was looking at this crosshair like this. And I said, where could I get back in at? Where could I get back in at? And so I started moving this thing around and I said, okay, now I'm gonna come down, look down here in this area, because now you can see this pullback, right? You can see this green pullback. I'm looking at these candles right here. And I said, okay, if here's an example. Here it is. So if this candle closed and we're looking at this candle, it's at the bottom of this candle, 71296. 296. Do you see how it did come up and retest that area, but it's still above it? Y'all see that? It went up there, it triggered my order, but I was still negative for a little bit, right? And I'm like, that's what was happening before when we were trading the other day. I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, but something just seemed like it's a little bit off. We could probably correct this a little bit more. So I started playing around with this thing a little bit. And I said, okay, what if we moved this thing around a little bit? And I look at this, so like, see the top of this little wick right here, right? That one wouldn't, hold on, let me just that wouldn't be a good idea because that's really not the candle we want to do it. Hold on. We don't have any more. Oh, here's one. Here's a pullback right here. Hold on. Okay, so this one would be good, except you just have to, it would matter on your spreads. Okay, so you still have to, like, you're not going to lose the trade, but it may not pick you up, right? Depending on the spread. It just kind of depends. So you might have to play around with it. But so for example, let's say, see this green, okay, I'm gonna put my vertical cursor, my vertical crosshair. On the left, you see my vertical crosshair up and down is on the red candle. But if you look to the right, it's on the green candle. You see that?
Yes.
You guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, my up and down cursor. On the left, it's on this red candle, but on the right, it's on the green candle. So on price action, I can see that this is pulling back, right? It's pulling back. The very next Akinashi candle is a little bit of a transition candle, which is like a pullback candle, right? It's a pullback candle. So we don't know. The thing is, the reason why this one is probably a transition candle is because if you look to the right, you know, you don't always know. Sometimes you can have two green candles, right? It can still go up a couple of candles before it turns around and comes back down. So this Akinashi is telling you that the way that the numbers work, that the distance between the top of that previous green candle and the top of that red candle, it surpassed the average. So that's why this candle has those two wicks on the end, because Akinashi really takes into consideration average of so many previous candles, okay? When the next candle to the right exceeds the average, you've got this two wicks there, okay? Which is why it's like a warning, like, hey, this thing could reverse on you, okay? It doesn't mean it will, it just means it could, especially if that 3 MA is not flat, like you're not in a consolidation, okay? So we've got this Akinashi on the left that corresponds to that price action on the right. The next Akinashi recognizes that that red candle on the right has not met the average. It's higher. So that's why the Akinashi candle has the two wicks, right? So we would wait. When we saw that, we would wait, okay? Now the next candle we see is what? The flat top candle, right? And then we need that candle to close because that candle, hold on. This candle is now represented by that green candle. You see that? It's a pullback candle. It's a retest candle. So you don't want to get in right there because you don't know how far it's going to go. So you see the transition candle, fine. Then you wait for the next candle to close, flat top, and then we want to get in on the next flat top candle. Oh, look at that thing take off. We want to get it on the next flat top candle. Oh, Lord, what is going on with Australia right now? This is what we should have got it. I told y'all this was going to be a good one. Let me see what the scanner is doing. Hold on. Look at that. This might be a good one. It might be a good one to look at coming back up. But in the meantime, let's come back to what I'm trying to teach y'all. Okay. So let me put a couple of verticals here so you guys can follow what I'm saying. Or is everybody with me? Is anybody confused on what I'm saying? Uh-oh. Am I frozen again? Just are you on the internet?
We good.
Yeah, we got
good. Okay. Okay, thank you, baby. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Oh goodness, come on, internet. Come on. Saya, you're on the internet on the. Saya, I need you to get off the internet. You're on the internet on the TV. It's making my computer shut down on the Wi-Fi. Please get off the internet, baby. Just watch regular TV. I need you off YouTube. I can't move. You're slowing down my internet connection. Did you get off of it? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, there we go. Now I'm back in action. Okay, sorry guys. All right, so here, let me put this here. I just want to make sure y'all get it, okay? If you look here, see this transitional candle? Well, this candle right here is a flat top, right? This one represents that green pullback candle to price action. Next, we have a transition candle, which is like, hey, wait a minute. Time out for a second. Just wait. Once you see that, you want to wait for another flat top to actually close. And if you look to the right, you can see why. Because if you had got in over here on this candle, that green candle could have very easily kept going up, right? It went in the opposite direction. So we're talking about an optimal entry. You don't want to get in going up. You want to get in going down. So now that green candle, this green candle has taken place, this candle, this first red flat top here after transition, it's closed. Now we have this next candle right here, okay? This next candle is the one we're looking to get in on, okay? Now, if you look at this candle, this is one that's kind of suspect. That's what I'm talking about, the spreads. But if you look at this candle right here, okay, and you see the top, let me put this vertical, hold on. That candle right there, okay, that's kind of what I'm talking about. The top of this candle corresponds to the candle over to your right, okay? If you look at that candle over to the right, the price action candle, it's like a perfect wick entry. Now, in this case, this one might catch you because of the spreads. It just depends, right? Please go sit down. Turn the iPad off. Let me finish my work, Josiah. Please. This one is, so we're at the top of this candle right here. And you can see over to the right, you got that wick right there, okay? Now, based on your spreads, it depends on the pairs. Like if you follow one pair up and down, up and down, up and down, you'll start to learn how it works, right? But on on this one, on AU, you're at the top of this candle where I got the vertical line, and this candle is corresponding to the wick of this candle up here, okay? So the top of the current candle, I'm gonna move this orange line. The top of the current candle, whoops. Wait, that's not right, hold on. Oh, that is right, I gotta move this line too. 71265, hold on. 71265. Okay, do y'all see how now this candle is wicking right at that line? I got to move the line so you can see it again, but I just wanted to make sure everybody could see what candle I'm talking about, okay? We'll move this candle, this wick, that line. You can see that this is your entry point. Y'all see that? Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now you're not in heavy drawdown. It's like perfect. Okay? It's like perfect. I did this twice today. One time I was on the phone with Ron. I'm like, oh my God, this thing is perfect, right? So what we were thinking, let me go back and explain to you how I came to this. Initially, I thought Spiller said that it's the top of the previous candle. So we're looking at this candle where the yellow vertical line is. I thought he was saying it's the top of the previous candle, which would be right here, right? And that's 71284 over here. 71284, we too high. Like it's nowhere near that wick. Y'all see that? It's nowhere near the wick of this candle right here. So I'm like, that can't be it because we're missing the whole move. So then on what, baby? No, Pumpkin, please let me finish. Okay, so then I said, well, maybe it's the bottom of the previous candle. So then I brought it down here. This is where we were entering the trade the other day. Right? So what's that? 71245. So see, we were in, but you see we had a little drawdown. You see that? The candle sticking up on top of it. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, that's not bad. That's not bad at all, okay? But I'm like, that man clearly said you could get in like perfect entry. How's this happening? So I started playing with the crosshairs, right? And I said, where is this at? When I'm looking at the top of this candle here, I'm saying, where is that at? I'm looking. I said, where is this wick at? And I saw it was the top, not of the previous candle, but it's the top of the existing candle. So in other words, you see this candle right here that's forming? See this candle right here that's forming right now?
Yes.
Okay. We would put a sell limit. Right, let me look at the scanner for a second. For example, if we wanted to follow the move. Oh God, this thing's just not gonna stay. Hold on. Oh my God, why is this thing acting like this? I can't get this thing to open up. Hold on. Baby, what's wrong with you? You said? Make is this. You see, if I look at the current candle, if I were to put a line at the top of that current candle, okay, 7/11/99. This is me getting ready for the pullback, right? So I'm in place. 7/11/99. I'm gonna hit OK. You see, that's where the line is, right? What would happen is we would wait for that sell limit to come up there, hit our end. So look at it, right? What we're looking for is for that line to come up, that candle to come. Sorry, put that down. We'll be looking for the candle to come up, retest that 4, okay, and pull us into the trade, okay, continuing down on the sale. So the idea is that, let me see if this thing is working now. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. So AUD USD. Please leave me alone, Josiah. No, go in your room. Okay. So this thing is pushing down, right? That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at how on the scanner, this thing is, it's kind of trying to pull up a little bit, right? But we got this 4 coming down. We had this big push. And when you have a big push like that, it's going to come back up and retest. So the thing is, where do I catch it? Straight so you can keep going in the same direction. The idea with Akinashi is that you're not getting in market execute. In other words, like this. Let's try this. I'm trying to give a real life example. See here, this top of this D candle. Technically, if this were optimal entry above the 80, we will wait until this red candle closed below the 4, right? We wait till the candle closed below the 4. And what will we do? We do market execution, right? If we do market execution, we instantly turn around and go up. Y'all see that? That's what's happening to us. We instantly go in, we get in, and we go up, and we don't know how far up it's going to go sometimes. So we're in the negative until it turns around and comes back down. We believe it's going to come back down, but we get in market execution and we go up. We don't want to do that. We want to get in and go down or go up very minimally, okay? So then let's just come back up here. Let's do this. Let's look at it from this standpoint. So here, we've got over here, where this candle closed below the 4, look at what's happening in Akinashi. It's the transition candle, right? Transition candle. So we don't get in on that candle anyway. We would normally get in market execution when this candle closed. Well, when this candle closed and we get in over here, what's Akinashi? Another transition candle, which means we shouldn't be in it just yet. We shouldn't be in it just yet. Well, then what happens? This next candle forms, right? This next candle forms, and it has the flat top on it. When this flat top candle start, like, you got to be watching this because this thing will move. You put your sell limit once this candle starts moving, okay? Not when it closes, when it starts moving. As soon as it starts that flat top, you put your candle or you put your sell limit right on the top of that. What's that? 71594. 71594. And if you come over here, and so AUD USD is tripping because we got a little bit of gap right there, right? We got a little bit of gap right there. So that's going to happen sometimes. And the only thing I can think of really is because, see this price action line right here? Like if I were to move this over like this, you see, when you have, that's why that volume does help. When you have that volume line, remember what I told you, that's where the banks put the price at, right? So if we have a volume line right in the mix of our transition going down, the volume line is going to take precedent. So normally we would put our sell limit line up here. But as you can see, the volume line is right there, and it's like perfect wick entry on the volume line. So in this case, I would have still put my sell limit right here. I would have put the sell limit right here. And in this case, I would have missed the trade, right? I would have missed it because my rule says to put it up here. The volume line took precedent, but that's where the learning lesson comes. Like, you got to see it enough times to say, okay, if I got a volume line right there, that's going to take precedent than my sell limit line. But once this candle started to form, this essentially is where I'm going to put my sell limit, because this next Akinashi candle essentially is half, right? It starts forming at half of this candle. This candle starts forming at half. This candle starts forming at half. See, all of them start at half unless the ratio's thrown off. If the ratio's thrown off, it becomes a transition candle, right? Then it comes back. Okay, now we're at half. We're at half. We're at half, and we keep on going all the way down, okay? Let me go to a different pair, see if we can catch this thing on something else to really, really illustrate what I'm saying. But do you guys get what I'm saying, the gist of what I'm saying? Where you put your limit line at the top of the existing Akinashi candle?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, it's making sense.
Okay, I was frozen there. Let's see what Euro AUD is doing right now.
Makes sense, Tracy.
Huh?
Does it make sense?
Okay, good. Oh, Jasmine, that's right. Is that Jasmine? You were there. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, this one isn't ready yet because we would need that red candle to come down and cross underneath that 4. And plus, we're not above the 80. CAD JPY might have done it earlier today. No, it didn't. I was looking, let me go back, see if I can find a GU. Oops. Oh, GU went away. Okay, it's not on here. So let's see what's Euro USD from before. Nothing. Let me see if I can just find it somewhere though. I really want to just find an optimal entry because I don't want people to shortcut it and just come up with stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just make up stuff. So I'm really trying to find optimal entry. Let me see, go down further. What we got? Let's try UJ. Let's see if we could find, what, baby? Okay, let's try this, right? Let's see. What's this up here? Okay, so this isn't quite it, but it's almost it. Okay, almost it. See if I can make, because I see this big run right here, right? So we have this big push up. What's this, UJ? This big push up. And then we had a candle close down underneath our 4. And then what we want to do is we don't want to do market execution and go up. We want to already be up here waiting to catch it down, right? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it precise by being up here waiting for it to come to us and go down versus market execution, go up and then come down, okay? So let's see, this is UJ at, what, the 23rd, 1700. Hold on, let me fix my time clock over here.
What's the time clock?
The time clock is the clock that says she's supposed to be in the bed.
Mommy,
Look at what? Here, please, go sit down. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is 1:23, 9 a.m. on UJ. Let's try it over here. Thank y'all for bearing with me because it's not that easy to find it, to demonstrate it. Turn it down. And we said what, at 9 o'clock? So we were here, okay. Let me bring this out my way, okay. Bring this down a little bit. And let's bring this down a little bit. Okay. All right, and usually what I try to do is I try to look at where the volume price lines are because it will change based on how much data it can see on the screen. So I usually try to move it around until I can get both of these to be kind of similar to one another. That's 582. Looks like maybe more showing over here. There we go, 582. So let's just bring it up. Okay, so now we have a much seemingly mirror image. Okay, that's close enough. All right, so now we can see over here, Akanashi, we got big push, right? Flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom. The 3 starts to curve, right? The 3 starts to curve. Who's drawing on my screen? I'm like, I thought this was an MA line somewhere. And I'm like, I don't have this on here. Somebody, can y'all take this off my screen? Whoever did that. How do I, let's see, and let's say clear. Can I? Lord have mercy, I don't know who did that. Guys, if you're drawn on the screen, can you please not, can you erase that if you did that, please? Because it's kind of confusing. I don't know how to get it. Let me see, clear, all drawn. There, okay, I did it. Never mind. Okay. All right, sorry about that. All right, so here we go. All right, so we got big push up, right? And scanner says, okay, this might be almost optimal entry in that standpoint, right? Because we're looking over here at price action. It's coming all the way out the Bollinger Band. And what does it do? This candle right here on the right, price action, it closes below the 4. If this candle on the left, Akanashi, you can see is a transition candle, right? So when you're watching this, you want to have both of these screens up at the same time so you can see what's happening. These candles are different, but it's pulling different data, okay? But it's helpful. So that transition candle being red gives us a clue that the train that was going full speed up has now started to slow down. And now we're probably getting ready to turn around and go down. Okay, we want that momentum to stop. This transition candle gives us a clue that that has started to happen. That transition candle corresponds to the candle that closes below the 4. Everybody understand that? It closes below. So OE says we're going to wait until the candle closes below the 4. And normally what we're going to do is we are going to, let me make this line a little bit thinner. What we're going to do is we're going to get in right there, right? And look what happens. Price goes up some, right? We got that wick sitting on top of our entry. And I'm saying there's got to be a better way, which it is. So after this transition candle, I know that this next candle is going to be our main candle because that transition candle is the same as our candle that closed below the 4. So I know I'm ready to get in on this next candle, right? I know I'm ready to get on this next candle. So the candle that starts to form after the transition candle is a flat top candle. This flat top candle, when that candle starts to form, I'm going to put a sell limit right at the top of that flat top candle. Let me take this out the way. I'm going to put a sell limit right there, which is 109,894. Then I'm going to come over here and duplicate that, right? 109,894. When I do that, do you guys see how that's a perfect entry on a sell? There's no drawdown.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, most pairs are going to be like this. That AUD USD out, that's kind of funny acting. But most of them, as I was testing, is going to be like this, okay? Even if I come down here, right, and I miss it, I miss the move, right? Okay, it comes down, it's fine. Then what? I got to let the next candle close, right? And then I'm going to do what? Get in at the top of the next candle. When I get in here, I'm going to get in right here, which is what? 109,831. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do 109,831. And look at that. I mean, a little bit of wick, but it's still like perfect entry.
Awesome.
Please sit down. No, shush, shush. Okay, you guys see what I'm saying? Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this candle close. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come up here to this next candle, right? If I move this candle down here, and what's that? 109,779. 109,779. Look, we right there again. Like every time you get in, you're pretty much right on the wick, right? A little bit might be above depending, but you're right on that wick, right? So the idea though is you don't necessarily want to keep getting in. I'm just showing you that you could. It's consistent like that. But once you, on optimal entry, once this candle closes, we don't want to do market execution. We want to wait. We don't want to do market. We want this candle to close, but we're going to be ready. We're going to look at Akanashi. As soon as Akanashi opens up, because it's going to open up flat. As soon as Akanashi opens up, as you can see, the real price action, of course, opens up where the last candle ended off, right? It opens up below. So you still got a couple seconds. This candle is going to open up down here. And it might go down a little bit, right? And then it's going to turn around and do what? Retest. The time that it takes for it to do that is the time that you need to be putting in your sell limit right at the top of this Akanashi candle and get your numbers and correspond your numbers, right? I did that with GU a couple times a day, and that thing was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. So, I mean, draw down, I was on the phone with Ron. It was like, it may have went down to like 10 cents, 20 cents, or up 10 cents, 20 cents, something like that. Next thing you knew, I was $7 in profit, right? Almost fast. And that's what Spiller was saying. Like you have less time in red and you almost go right into profit, right? You almost go right into profit. Very little time inside your negative area, right? So then once you're in, let's just get to this. Once you're in, optimal entry says get out at the red line. You can still get out at the red line if you want to. Okay, that's the safe thing to do, is to get out at the red line. Okay, you could do that, get out the red line. But what Akanashi says is that you can stay in it. You can stay in it. You can, as long as you got this flat top, another flat top, you stay in it. You stay in it. Now you're watching price action on your right. Okay, you can stay in it. You can stay in it. And if that red line is below you, what do? You get out when you get to the red line. Right? The red line is the volume line. You would get out at the red line. Okay? Now, Akanashi, rules also say that you could really stay in this as long as you got all these flat tops. You can stay in until you get to the transition. And you can see that the transition starts to happen when this 3 starts to curve. You can also see it here on price action when you hit this key level, right? If you have your charts marked up, you can see it. It hits the level, it turns around, consolidates a little bit, and then we close inside the 4 going the other way, right? Now, if you look, Akanashi, when this candle in price action, if you look at the Akanashi candle, that's a green transition candle, right? In fact, the first candle that closed inside was like a doji candle on both sides, right? So the idea is, as soon as a candle closes on the top of that 4, you want to get out anyway, right? I mean, if you're under the 4, you stay until you get above the 4, you get out, okay? Because now we can continuously continue. You can possibly go the other way. So my recommendation would be this. You look for the candle to close underneath the 4 on regular price action. When that next Akanashi candle opens, you put your sell limit on the top of that existing candle. This candle going to be moving. You put your sell limit at the top. In price action, it's not there yet. The candle's not there yet. Akanashi is there, but price action, it's not there yet. You put your sell limit there. Price action is going to come up. It's going to grab you and it's going to pull you down. You're going to stay in the trade until the red line, like optimal entry teaches you. Okay? That's the safest thing to do. Okay? For all you daredevils out there, right? You can put it down and you can see that Akanashi says you can keep going. Okay? If you want to keep going, then fine. Let it go. Put your stop loss there. Right? Put your stop loss at the red line and let it keep riding down. Okay? And that way you at least gather those pips at the red line. Now, stop losses. Let's talk about this. With Akanashi, you want to do trailing stop. Okay? You want to do trailing stop so you can secure your profits, because these candles move differently. If you're watching, they move differently. Okay? So ideally, if you get in here, you can see over to the right, that candle comes down, it closes, right? When it closes, that next candle starts and it comes up here. What you want to do is whatever the current candle is, you want to put your stop loss at the top of that current candle, right? Now, you don't have to do it right away, but like right here, okay, you're good. When this Akanashi candle starts, you could put a stop loss there, right? Because you don't want it to come back up and take you out. Or you could just wait until it comes down some, right? So maybe you get in another position and then you can put your stop loss here, right? I'm on the left-hand side, Akanashi candles. But it's going to go at the top of the previous candle is your stop loss, right? So you get in, the candle to the right forms, you put your stop loss on the top of that candle. Then the next candle to the right forms, you would keep your stop loss. Let me move this here. You would keep your stop loss right there if this candle is forming. When this candle forms, you're going to put your stop loss right there. Like you're going to move it down like one stair step at a time, right? When this candle forms, and what's that the way? When this candle forms, your stop loss is there. When this candle forms, your stop loss is here. Now remember, Akanashi looks at the average. Like it always is going to come in half, right? The reason why this transition candle is here is because if you look at price action, do you see how that green candle has gone up way kind of deep into that? I'm sorry, that green candle has gone deep. If you look to the right or look to the left, okay, let me look at price action. This red candle right here, we're looking at this green candle. This green candle is taking up a lot of space of this red candle over here. Y'all see that? It's not just a wick like this. It's like a body is coming up, almost like momentum, almost like it could push up. When that happens, if you look at Akinashi, the ratio is thrown off, and that's why a wick is popped up on the top. So that's how you know, okay, we're getting ready to do something. Or the candles are not forming the same ratios. So you might want to get out. So the daredevils, you can stay in as long as you see the flat tops. You can test it, flat top, and then you see a transition coming down with a curve. You can get out. I recommend you stay in until the red line, like optimal entry, just to keep it simple. Or you can go all the way down to the price line, the volume profile line, the bank line. You could do that. So there's multiple exit points, okay? There's multiple exit points. The exit is your choice. This is optimal entry, right? I'm really trying to optimize your entry. Your exit is whatever you want your exit to be, okay? Come up with your own exit strategy. But your entry strategy is what gets you into profit. And that's what we're trying to show you here. So we're going to do everything the same, okay? Optimal entry. We wait. It's going to hit the 80. It's going to hit the 80. It's going to cross. Blue line going to be pointing down. And then we're going to wait until red candle crosses the 4. When red candle crosses the 4, we're going to look at the next Akinashi candle. We're going to put our sell limit at the top of that moving Akinashi candle, sell limit, and we're going to wait for regular price action to come up and grab our sell limit order. It's going to pull us down. We're going to be in profit a lot faster, and we're going to go down to our red Bollinger Band line. We're going to get out. Everybody with me? Now, you can still get in if you want to, market execution. I'm just saying, I've lost a lot of pips on market execution sometimes, right? Just going the opposite direction. When Akinashi takes that into consideration for whatever reason, it's reading the ratio some kind of way. And we're catching it right there, okay? A lot less drawdown, right? So I'm gonna stop sharing. It's like 12 o'clock. Everybody brain, I'm sure, getting tired. Are there any questions on that? Oh, Ron, you found the same thing?
Yeah, I did. That's a job well done right there. I can't add or take away anything that you just said. Like it pinpoints it. I mean, this is the best strategy that I've seen with the accuracy that it has using a harmonic scanner. Like, I mean, forget what you heard. This is it right here.
So that's why I'm saying we want to stay with the scanner, because the scanner is going to give us that reversal. Okay, we want that. We want to move, right? We want to move. So we need to stick with the scanner. We need to stick to all the optimal entry criteria. We even want the candle to close under the 4. But when that candle closes under the 4, you need to immediately get over to Akinashi and put that sell limit in, because that next candle is getting ready to go up in price action, grab you for the retest, and pull you back down. Okay, so I want you guys to test it. We could test it in the morning. Hopefully I can get up. Lord help me. I got no rest today. We could test it in the morning for everybody's going to be on for the session. Yeah, if I don't get on, please somebody call me or something. I be sleeping right through that thing, especially since I was doing these Zooms yesterday. I didn't hear nothing, okay? I was knocked out. Somebody call me, text me something. I need to get up. But that's how it works. That's it. That's all it is. You're just going to put that sale limit on the top of that existing Akinashi. You're going to wait, because price action not there yet. Price action is below where Akinashi is. That's why we're going to put the sale limit. It's going to come up, come down. Okay. Janae, what's your question? I see you have a question.
Look, hi, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what my question was is, because I was playing with this the other day too, And when I guess I'm not that used to the buy limit and sell limit because we've been doing the market executions. But when I was trying to get out of the, I think we were in the buy limit at that moment, it wasn't allowing me to manually get out of the trade. And so I don't know if it's just maybe the functionality of how that works with placing a buy limit and a sell limit and trying to exit. I mean, I know if you hit your take profit, it automatically take you out. But
yeah, but your buy limit and sell limit don't have anything to do with you getting out. Because your buy limit and sell limit is you getting in. So once it hits that, you're in the trade. To get out, you have an iPhone or Android?
Android.
Okay, I don't know. Who know that on Android? On an iPhone, all you do is press and hold. You have an option to say close, and you hit close.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah, I thought that's how it would be too. Because when I'm in market execution, that's how it is. Like I can just, like you said, just close the trade out. But when I entered by way of a buy limit, it didn't have that option. I was like, how do you get out of this?
I'll tell you why.
It's not going to have that.
Trade didn't activate. That's why he wasn't able to close.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense. I got you. Oh,
You can't not be in a trade trying to close a trade. Come on now.
No, but that makes sense now because when just looking at what you were showing, I was like, okay, I see. Because that was something else that was confusing me when I was playing with it the other day too. Was trying to figure out how does it because that's like a pending order where it, like you said, it opens up wherever it hits that point. And I was trying to figure that out. So okay, that makes sense.
If it's a pending order, you can delete the pending order. But it's not pending if it's triggered. If it's
right, once it triggers, then you have the option to close it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, Tina, you can probably stop the recording at this point.